Hey, good afternoon, Ken.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
I understand you're the man and the face of the product of Kegel's Produce. You're
Yes.
also an educated man. You give back to the community. Let's start off with your experiences at J.P. McCaskey.
Okay, well, I went to McCaskey 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. Graduated in 1989. And played football in McCaskey. We were the district runner-ups. We lost to Cedar Cliff at Hershey. And our team just went into the McCaskey Hall of Fame, which is something I'm very proud of. It's kind of my story at McCaskey. I did not go on to college. I went right into the family business, and here I am today.
Yes, that was a good ceremony you guys went through with getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. You had a lot of good players on there. May you name some of your teammates?
Yes, well, we had John Walk, we had Pete Horn, Tony Springer. Let me see, Eric Jones, Damian Henry, Ray Kreider.
That's a wealthy list right there.
Yes.
Yes. Speaking of McCaskey, how did it feel for you to graduate from McCaskey and be a productive member as an alumni?
Well, McCaskey is, I feel, is a great school. It has a great foundation. It's just every day you pick up the newspaper or you see the news, and there's just something new. And now it's about Barney Yule and trying to get downtown plaza named Barney Yule. And Barney Yule was an Olympic runner, and Barney Yule's in the McCaskey Hall of Fame. And it's really neat to see. And you have Mayor Art Morris, former Mayor Art Morris, who's part of McCaskey, and just a lot of great things come out of the school.
Yes, that's the reason behind Barney Yule trying to be named after the plaza in Lancaster downtown. It's being run by Jeremiah Miller, who works for the McCaskey Alumni Office.
Yes. I've been in touch with Jeremiah. I just wrote an editorial to the newspaper that was published. And, it's something I hope happens, but, I really have no control over that. So whatever the city decides to do, or whoever makes that decision, is going to happen. So we just have to stand behind whatever they decide to do. But
after you graduated from high school, when you moved into the workforce, to the family business, who was the founder of Kegel's Produce that helped this become a family business?
Well, Kegel's Produce was started by Earl Kegel and my grandmother, and then my dad went into the business, and my dad then took the business over from my grandmother, and then my father and mother took over the business, and then my father passed away, and now it's my mother and I running the business.
So that's good that your father was able to give you something to not only keep in the family, but also be a productive member of society. But I'm pretty sure he taught you plenty of good values of giving back to the community, staying humble, and always remember where you came from.
Yes.
And how do you feel that he was able to, pass down the business to you and your mom, even though he unfortunately, passed away?
Well, he was my father was a hard worker, and he rarely, there was very little or no social scene for my father, and I was okay with that. And he would always be at my games at McCaskey, though. Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. my dad was always at the game, and that's something that meant a lot to me. So our business was a lot smaller then. We were on Mulberry Street in Lancaster. I was able to grow the business. I started doing the buying as my dad got sick with cancer, and I was able to start buying produce direct and bringing it in from California. And then we ran into some situations with trucking and having tractor trailers downtown Lancaster, and that's why I had to get out of downtown Lancaster, because it was too tight and the situation wasn't right.
They explain the transition from making the big jump out here to East Hempfield Township, from the downtown Lancaster to the big warehouse of Kegel's Produce.
Well, we had moved to another warehouse off of Manheim Pike, and we were there for about 8 or 10 years. And so, but here we have everything we need here, and I was able to put in a test kitchen, and it's called the Produce Playground, and it's basically an area where we have a chef, and he brings in harmony to our customers that come in and pick up things, and it's a place to utilize produce and try new products and help our customers try new products and help get more fresh produce in restaurants, schools, and hospitals, and places like that.
Yeah, fresh produce equals a good health, and with good health comes a chance to produce good wealth. And you impacted a lot of lives in not only just the city of Lancaster, but across the world through Kegel's Produce.
Yes.
Can you tell me some of your big clients, like who you help did business with?
Well, some of our bigger clients are, we deal with locally, like Lancaster General Hospital, Franklin Marshall College, some other ones, national companies would be like Chick-fil-A, Red Lobster, some companies like that.
Cool. And what was your first position in the family business, as in starting from the bottom and working your way up to the top?
Well, first position was I used to tear down tomato boxes, and Uncle Bo would get really upset with me. I would make tunnels in the tomato boxes that he would stack. So I don't know if that was a position or if I was just creating a problem for Uncle Bo, but that's one thing I used to do. But then my dad left me go to the Leola produce auction in Leola and buy produce. And I was 16, and I would go down there and I would buy produce. And I got to meet customers that I still have today, and I learned how to buy produce, and I was bidding for produce, and it was a lot of fun. And I bought produce, and then I sold produce, and that was one of my first jobs. I used to go out delivering with truck drivers when I was young. I actually talked about that today with a person that was here. I used to go along when I was 8 years old with drivers and help them make deliveries.
Yeah, that does make a lot of good journey work, because most people who start a good business start from the bottom to learn what it's like, and then as they gradually make progress and work their way up, now that they have experience, now they can expand their ideas and put more action into their words. Like, when did you end up becoming, when did you end up like taking on more of a leadership role with your mom?
Well, I always did. I don't know. There was never really a time. I mean, my mother and I work very well together. She kind of handles the books end of things, and I kind of handle the produce and some of the employee-ish sides of things. But then I always believed I have experts in all the different divisions, in transportation, in produce buying, in sales, in marketing, and I kind of am like the coach and watch over what they do and help lead them and direct them in what I want to happen.
That's very well true. Speaking of Kegel's Produce in the community, what influenced you to give back to the community, but also make a positive impact on people's lives?
Well, the one thing is I believe wholeheartedly in Lancaster and Lancaster City, and I wanted my business to be as close to Lancaster City as possible, without, saying that we left Lancaster City. But I know I'd worked with Mayor Smithgall and Mayor Gray, and we looked at some different properties at the time to try and build in Lancaster City, and things just didn't work out at that time, and I needed a building right away. It was always my goal was to stay in the city and stay as close to the city as possible. So, but I believe in the city restaurants. I believe in the city. When there's projects going on in the city, there's the Red Rose Film Fest coming up that we're part of. There's the Lancaster Barnstormers that we're a part of. Jeremy Weiss, who's in charge of some things at the Chameleon, and he has a music festival. I went to school with Jeremy. I'm involved with his events. So I believe in getting involved with those events that give back to the city.
That makes a lot of sense, because it's one thing to make a profit, but it's better to give back. Because I know there's a verse that says it's better to give than it is to receive.
Yes.
And when you help out those in need, they end up helping those in need as well, and a positive cycle starts to become out of that giving and that nature, and people start to see a better opportunity outside their current circumstances.
And that's what we are doing with our staff here is we have a great staff with drivers and warehouse order selectors and cleaning and maintenance and the whole scheme of things, and I'm very proud of what they do, and it's a 7-day-a-week operation, and like we say, fresh is best, and we don't bring in produce and sit on it here for a week. It comes in, and every 2 to 3 days the produce comes in and goes out, comes in and goes out, comes in and goes out. So it's a real chess game in order for buyers to buy produce, for it to come in, for it to be delivered, and it happens day after day after day after day. And they have to take orders off of the answer machine, they have to take orders off the computer, they have to take faxes, emails, web orders. There's a lot of different components that have to happen, and
that's a lot of ways to communicate with your customers, your advertisers, your promoters, but also the community. I realize your company has definitely made positive progressions, starting from Mulberry Street to here in East Hemphill Township, but staying close to the city. That's a drive away, a bus drive away.
Yes.
But also the location is good for employees to get here, whether it's carpool, Uber, Lyft, any way possible. And you have given plenty of people opportunity here to work here, but also become a productive member of society where they can provide for their families. And most importantly, by providing that opportunity, you help make the community better, and an employment rate a better state, positive light to people's lives. And you get the chance to really get to know the person, not just the person on file or just by name tag. You get to know them personally. And I believe that goes back to your going back to what company started on Mulberry Street, where you guys were communicating with customers directly and contacting with your employees directly, and you still keep that theme and that harmony here going on here at a bigger location.
Well, it was neat. We just had John Stoner, who had a stand at Central Market and just retired from Central Market, his stand, and transitioned his stand to another market holder that worked for him, and he just had a party here at our produce playground, and it was a phenomenal party. And John's been a customer of ours for a very long time, and I know John very well, and it was just a meaningful party, to be here at the party, have the party here, he brought in some local chefs that he's friends with that bought produce from him, and things like that happen, and they mean a lot. My father was, definitely there. My grandmother was definitely there. My mother's definitely there. So that's definitely 3 people right there that that are key figures. I have our accountant is Bob Burtz. My best friend is Bob Zuckerman he's with the Lancaster Barnstormers. And I've learned to surround myself with quality people that do not bring me, any type of, so I can wake up and go about a positive day. When you have negativity coming towards you, you don't need it, and it'll drive you down. And I've learned that you just have to keep moving. You have to keep moving forward, and you have to be positive.
Yes, I definitely believe that mentorship and having positive people around you creates a positive life. Because life is too short to be around the wrong people.
Yes.
How are you able to balance being a businessman, a father, and a husband?
Well, I'm not a husband right now.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm not married at the current time. Being the father, I have 3 boys, and that's something I enjoy a lot. I coach my youngest son in basketball right now at the Lancaster YMCA, and something I look forward to. We have 1 practice a week, and we have 1 game a week, and our team's name is the All-Stars, and they picked the name, the team did, and we have 1 win, and we have a couple losses, and they play well, and it's just it's a lot of fun. So, and my other 2, my oldest is in the process of figuring out where he's going to college, and I'm helping him with that process. And my middle son is Carrick, and he is a sophomore at Catholic High, and he is going skiing tonight.
I understand one of your sons plays for Lancaster Crusaders.
Football, that's Kobe.
Yes.
Yes, he was on the C team this year, and they went to the semifinals and the playoffs, and they had a great team. But
maybe tell me what your day is like being the CEO here, as far as from the start to the last shift.
Well, from the start, I start around 3:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm a firm believer in getting things done before the day starts. So to explain that is, I like to get things done before everybody gets here. And when our buyers get here, I started a new program where we take a walk through the coolers, and we look at all the product, and we look to make sure everything's the way we want it, as far as freshness, quality, and appearance go. And if it's not the way we want it, it's going to get returned or sent back. So that's something I just put into effect, because prior to that I was doing it all myself, and I was basically kind of wearing myself thin, and I was going through every cooler by myself and doing this, and it was just, it's basically, I was wearing myself thin. So now I've brought that team together, so there's actually 5 of us that do this walkthrough around 7 a.m. and it's been very helpful. As opposed to just 1, now there's 5 of us.
Yes, the teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes.
And for your produce to be selling over these years, I think you help maintain good nutrition in people's lives, but also help produce people's lives to become better as far as with their health. Because since you produce quality ingredients and quality food, you can simply say you're helping people maintain a healthy diet.
Well, there's a lot of truth to that, and there's a lot of, there's some things that, The romaine situation that happened here a few months back with the romaine recall, and that's something I just still cannot believe. We ended up throwing out, I don't know, at least over 3,000 cases of romaine. Just throwing them out. Dump.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
I agree, but it was just amazing that we actually had a trash hauler come in, I think with 6 loads to tractor trailers to pick all that romaine up and take it to a dump. And we did not get any type of insurance money or any type of recourse on that. So that was just lost product, lost money. And that's something that we will not recoup. And it's had a major impact on our company.
Yeah, it's a lot of lessons in learning from our losses.
Yes.
And the best part about learning from that loss is basically how to make it right the next time around and prevent certain things from happening again. But that takes honesty to admit that, some things don't always go that way in life, and sometimes things don't go that way in business.
Yes.
But you did the right thing by making sure no other customer was affected.
Yeah, it was something we couldn't believe. We had it all locked up, roped off, and sealed up. You could not sell romaine, and we did not sell romaine. And people stopped buying it, and it's back in the system now, obviously. But that was a dark period for romaine.
Yeah. What was your bright periods of Kegel's produce?
Oh, bright periods. Going to some of the different PMA shows out in California. PMA stands for Produce Marketing Association. I won a under 40 years old award through the Produce Marketing Association. Different things like that. But all in all, like I said, I'm just happy maintaining the business, doing the best we can, keeping the employees happy, and having a safe work environment. And all right.
Thank you.